My mum was an antiquarian bookseller's cataloguer. She said that if I did this, I'd never earn any proper money, but I'd never want to do anything else. My name's Tim Bryars. I'm an antiquarian bookseller, and I've had a shop in Cecil Court for just over 20 years. With antique maps, it's not just saying, this is what somewhere used to look like, different, it looks like that. It's always, why did somebody make that map? What did they choose to leave off? Well, there's a really important 17th century engraver called Wenceslas Holler, and I was lucky enough to buy the only known surviving original copper printing plate which he engraved, and it was a map and a view of Hull in East Yorkshire. I took it home in a plastic bag and I was examining it on the kitchen table, and then the next day I went and saw my friend in the British Library, and the British Library bought it almost straight away. It was wonderful to see it immediately being used and being appreciated. I just sold an American university library a 1931 cocktail book printed in Prohibition era New York, telling you the places you could go and buy pineapple juice. And it started with a really nice little preface saying, these recipes are for fun only, please don't try this at home. It's not like a treasure map or anything like that, but it just gives you great insight into how people were living. Some people think the downstairs is mildly haunted, but only at 9 o'clock. When I think of all the previous generations who've been here, for example, this was where a young Arthur Ransom had a job when he was about 19, before he went off and married Trotsky's secretary and became a British spy and wrote Swallows and Amazons. He had one of his very first jobs here. All the interesting people who've passed in and out of this shop and perhaps left a little something of themselves behind. When I started in business, there were a lot more shops like mine, and I never wanted to become rarer than my books, but there are far fewer small independent shops, largely because of high rents, high business rates, and there are times when I worry that the whole of the West End is going to become one giant coffee shop. You know, I would love to see more shops like this, but I don't want to end on a downer. There are lots of upsides. We've got a whole new generation of people who are interested in books. My customer base now skews either 45 and older or 25 and younger. And that just makes me really happy. It's not people missing something that they used to have and don't have. It's people discovering something for the first time and finding it completely wonderful. I'd love you to meet my friend Max, who is the Church Warden at St Paul's Covent Garden. And he's a lovely guy, he's really interesting. It's an amazing church designed by Inigo Jones, and Max looks after the fabric of it.